This is an unboxing and review on this outdoor lamppost. Let's check it out. All right, here's everything that came in the box. Got these nice lights here. No light bulbs included, of course. This thing just looks like it just threads together. You see some threads on that. Some threads on the ends of those. There's everything that came in the accessory box. Looks like these things are going to be going on there like that on top of the light. Some wire, not sure on these yet. Some connectors, extra screw and a wrench. Comes with some directions too, which I've sliced in half with my knife on accident. That's still intact. So really what you want to do, put your anchor bolts in there, put them into your cement. It even kind of gives you some dimensions here. You want about an 18 by 18 cement base, 24 to 36 inches deep, and you put your anchor bolts in there. These ones right there with the cap nuts on them. Those are the cap nuts. And then you secure your post base to that. So I got the post base there. Then this piece here, first piece, see the holes there? It's just gonna sit right on that like that. I pulled the screws out of there. Just put them back in. I'm gonna go ahead and set this on the ground. It's already higher than the table. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put this piece on here. It's this one. Go right over that there. Just thread right on. Just pull those little two screws out of there, which knocks this loose. And I'll go ahead and undo that there. Okay, now before I pull that wire down through this thing, these things need to go on there. These two pieces right there are made for the two holes right here. Just go ahead and pull that wire through and secure that there like that. And we'll go ahead and cinch that down with the wrench. It's gonna be hard to get that bolt on there at first from this angle, so what I did is I just kind of tipped it up like this to get it started. And you can take and just tighten it up with that wrench there. Then we'll do the same thing for the other two. So I got the one tightened, and as I do these, I'm just going to go ahead and add these now so I don't have extra parts rolling around for me to drop. So screw that on that way. Okay, I'm going to put this second one in. Run that down through the bottom. Okay, got them all three on now. Got all the wires coming out of the bottom. I'm gonna take my black and white wire and wire it to these. So the first thing I'm gonna do is take black. I'm gonna grab all the black ones, wire them up to this supply line here. That's what the directions call this, is the supply line. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that with these wire nuts here. It's nice these wire ends come pre-snipped already. Taking the black ones and twisted them together. I'm gonna incorporate this one in there and wire nut it. There we go. Do the same exact thing with the whites. Okay, there's that. You can either put some silicone down there maybe to seal it up since it's going to be outside, or even put some electrical tape on there, or both. Okay, now I'm going to take this whole thing, I'm going to put it right up here. I'm going to screw that on here. Start just by feed the wires on down through that thing. Just push them all the way down and out through the bottom. One thing that might help, just put a little piece of tape around there so you can feed them both down there and they're not getting hung up and split apart. So just stick them on down there like that, both at once. And just threading this thing on there like that. Now I'm going to take this piece and put it on there too. I'm going to feed this wire down through, all the way out through the bottom. Another little tip here, hook something heavy to it.
And then you can just drop it down. It'll fall down through that tube a lot easier with some weight to it. Okay, we just put this top back on here after we ran that ground wire all the way through the bottom. Hey, here's the other thing. If you find your wires are getting hung up or whatever, just break the joints apart and kind of feed them on through that way. Okay, here's what you want. All your wires coming out of the bottom. All right, this is the part that gets hardwired to your power source, to your house, whatever. But I'm gonna go ahead and put a plug on this. I'm gonna go ahead and loosen that screw right there. This just pulls right out of there. Now we can connect our wires. The ground is gonna go on the green. Positive and negative are going to go there. Just pull all wires, all 3 wires through that. In this case I had 2 ground wires because I got one going to the piece I'm working on and then one for the lights itself. So I'm just going to go ahead and crank it down. I got the ground connected there. Now for the W, I'm just going to go ahead and connect the white one. I put the black one on there. Make sure they're both tight. I'll just go ahead and slide this piece all the way up over that. Slide that back in the housing there. There we go. Now we got our plug. Alright, so my plan is to drive some anchor bolts through this paver here. This will hold this light down just fine, and it'll be mobile as well, which is what I want. That way I can move it around. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this mounting bracket here. So what happens with this thing here is this thing will actually, I'm just using it for a template, but the thing is it's going to sit up, right up in that thing and line up with all the holes there. But I just need to know where to drill my holes, so I'm going to use that, center it up on that and drill my holes. Easy. Actually, I found it better to use the other side. That way when I'm marking it with the pen, I can see it a lot better, be a better surface to work with. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and try to use these things, and then once I punch them through, I'll just cut them off to length. That way this will be, I want this part nice and flush with that part. I'm just using a masonry bit here, drilling my holes. There, there, and there. That's gonna work out just fine. Go ahead and do these other 2. All right, I've got all 3 holes drilled all the way through. All right, got my holes drilled, and I just put the fasteners in and flip the thing over, so that's gonna work. That means it's gonna fit up into the holes. This template's nice. All right, I'm gonna take my diamond cutter and just cut right into this stone. I'm gonna cut a little groove in here for the plug to come out. There we go, that's just what I wanted. What I'll do too to keep the water from going down there, not that it really matters, but I'll seal that up all real good around there. I got some stuff to play with there. And yeah, put some sealer down in there so no water will get in there. Good to go. I just need to cut these things off a little bit so the top parts, the caps, sit flush with this. I'm just going to kind of get an idea what I need to cut off here. So just tighten this down. Okay, so I need to take a little bit out of that. I'll cut a section out of there. The other option is to take some spray paint and mask all this off and just paint that, but I want to cut some of that off and do it up a little bit better. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take my hacksaw and hack a portion of that off. I'm going to try to put these on if it'll work, and then thread these on there too. There we go, that's what I'm after right there. Actually, I said heck with the hacksaw to use my grinder. I'll do the same thing to the other 2. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and use these GE brand dusk-to-dawn LED light bulbs. They're soft white, 60 watt, 8.5. one last little addition to this, because if you hit this hard enough, it will tip over, just not readily. But I want to make sure that it's in there good. So I'm just going to put these things in there, about 4 of them, just to keep it, and push it all the way down, just to keep it from tipping over like that. You can even cover it up a little bit of dirt there. Well, here's one option.